5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wait till I see some people watching. There we go. What's up, Panther fans? Welcome to another edition of Four Man Rush. I'm your main man as always. 4MR underscore country Kev. Tonight we playing cover 3. Got my usual wingman with me here. Got JD, aka the Panthers Den, and y'all favorite, the one and only Westside Fetty, aka Monty, on here with us tonight. Hey, shit, it's been an interesting day, Panther fans. It's definitely been one that a lot of us been calling and waiting on, and it finally happened. You know, we're just gonna hop right into it. The big news broke out, I think about 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning, somewhere around that time frame, that Frank Reich was relieved of his duties as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. It was said that after another tough, hard-fought loss on the road to the Tennessee Titans yesterday, I believe the score was like 17-10. Apparently, owner David Tepper went into the locker room. Not sure what or if anything was said. Nothing's came out at this time, but apparently it was reported by several of the media of the other Panthers that he walked out the locker room and dropped the F-bomb or whatnot. It's like, fuck, or whatever. So for me, I knew something was up. That's not a good sign because, we never heard that part from David Tepper. So I knew something was definitely bound to go down. But like I said, next day, Black Monday, Frank Reich was let go of his duties. He was relieved. Also, the new interim coach, special teams coordinator, Chris Tabor, has taken over. And it said that he and specialist offensive assistant Jim Caldwell decided to also relieve quarterbacks coach Jim McCown and running back coach Deuce Staley. So that's a lot of meat on the bones. We're going to jump right into it. Let's get the hot man on here first, Monty. Bruh, you've been very vocal on Twitter about this, saying even before it actually happened. Tell us your thoughts on everything that's done transpired in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. Hey man, first I don't want to be known as a hot man. Like I just be giving my takes, like, and people just disagree, and I just disagree at a high level back. That's all. I mean, I'm playing.
You match energy is what you do.
But seriously, I mean, I think I said earlier today on Embrace Debate with Cody and Dez. So shout out to them boys there. But yeah, man, I honestly think that I'm excited, but we knew it was coming. That's why I said earlier today. We knew it was coming. It was something to be expected. We knew that Frank Reich, in my opinion, was kind of playing his last few games this season. I didn't think it was going to happen mid-season, and that's kind of been Tepper's trend. Like, if he don't like you, this is now the third coach mid-season he didn't fire. He fired Ron Rivera mid-season, fired Matt Rule mid-season, and now, here, lo and behold, he's fired Frank Reich. So, I mean, that's just go to show you the owner he is. He wants to see production. He wants to see it soon. But I think that's what fans have kind of deserved, man. We've been trash for 6 years. The 6 years he's been the owner, and I feel like every decision that he's made as head coach has been a bad decision. So it's glad to see that he's kind of trying to take hold and say, I made a mistake, and we're not going to wait another 2 or 3 years to try to fix this mistake. There's going to be some good candidates out there. Now it's going to be kind of the game of who really wants to take the job of turning this terrible team around. So, that's kind of going to be the debate there. But, I'm excited to see – I don't ever want to say I'm excited to see somebody lose their job. But in this situation, when we're talking about millionaires, bro, it's hard for me to say I feel bad either. So, I'm also glad to see that we moved on for it, man. So, yeah, that's basically where I'm at with it.
JD, drop knowledge on us, man.
I feel like it was pretty clear or abundantly clear by the time we lost to the Bears that Frank Reich wouldn't be around much longer. Um, and I'm a little disappointed that it took so long. And it's going to sound bad because it's year one, right? Like nobody expects to be fired or a coach to be fired in year one. Was really been a recent trend to where 3 head coaches have been fired in their first year, and it's like I'm disappointed because we have watched this team from you guys going to training camp and seeing how it's going in training camp, pointing out players or whatever. To this point, I have seen no exact or traceable, measurable improvement on offense. And that's been a good 4-5 months. And he was sold to us as an offensive mind. So that's issue number one for me. And those red flags should have been going up like months ago at this point. But I am glad that Tepper finally decided to cut bait, rip the Band-Aid off, and we'll admit that we were wrong, and then we'll just keep it pushing for a multitude of reasons. But the most important reason is for Bryce Young's development, because this man has 3 years to prove to us that he is, the franchise at this point. And we don't have time pity-patting and giving him 2 seasons to see, let's see at least if we're going to get any improvement. Let's just wait around and see. Nah, that clock is ticking now. If you can't say by the end of the third year that you'll be willing to pick up this man's option, or if it came down to it, franchise tag him and let him play on the tag, then you need to be figuring out something else at quarterback. So I think picking a rookie kind of sped our clock up a little bit. And in David Tepper's mind, probably gave him the inkling of, yeah, we can't wait around this time. Like, we got to move and get somebody in here that can actually develop a quarterback.
Yeah, but here's my thing. And, throughout the history of the Carolina Panthers, our coaches have always been defensive-minded coaches. I don't know. I never had that feeling about Rule. He just kind of was because he coached both sides of the ball. I don't really know. He was known as for his defense. I don't know. He just threw coffee on himself and ran through tackling dummies. Somehow that won Tepper over. I don't know how that, but just historically, we've always had, defensive-minded head coaches, and then it was kind of like the intrigue. Okay, we finally gonna get some. We need someone offensive-minded. The rules in the league are all favoring the offense. We need someone that can exploit that. We know, Frank Reich, had won a Super Bowl, was the offense coordinator for the Eagles Super Bowl run in 2017. So, I mean, like on paper, it looked like Reich was the right call. I mean, some would say that, the red flags he had red flags coming from his time in Indy, but he had a winning record. His team seemed to start off slow. But they picked it up, and I think they made the playoffs 3 times in his 5 years he was there. So it's not like Frank Reich had a shitty resume or anything like that. But apparently, wowing David Tepper over in interviews seemed to be the way to get the job for the Panthers. So back to you, Monty. Like, what do you like? How would you like to see this next coaching search go? Like, do you want Tepper just sit back and just write the checks, or we bring in some sort of hiring service? Like how do you see the next coaching hire to go?
Well, first hire the damn GM before you hire your head coach. Let's start doing stuff like regular football teams, man.
Okay.
We're so busy trying to find the right head coach, which is vital. You got to have the right head coach, but you can't have the coach without a guy that can build a roster around that guy for him to put guys in the right position. And that's where it starts. I feel like we skip vital steps in trying to build a team, and then we double back 3 years later. We're like, okay, well, we got to fix the step that we skipped. And it starts with the general manager. Like, you hired Matt Rule first. kept Matt Hurney, fired Matt Hurney, then had Matt Rule hire Fitterer. Then now you fired Matt Rule, and now you hire Reich, and you're about to do it again. So now you fired Reich, and now you're about to hire another head coach, and then fire the general manager again. Like it does, it don't make sense. None of it makes sense. And then again, you're sitting here had to be stuck with the head coach that may be here another 2 years. You're gonna fire the head coach, and then you're gonna fire the general manager another 3 years later. Like it, Tepper has to find a way to keep his ass out the kitchen, but he has to find a general manager first. He has to get him a general manager that knows. Now, I mean, again, I think keeping Samir is vital. He's proven that he's a good contract guy. He's a good finance guy. So you have a guy there that can lay down the foundation for what you want with your contracts over the next couple. I mean, and again, you got the money. Samir's done a great job of freeing up money over the next 4 or 5 years to where you can add great, depth with your free agents. But that being said, you got to get a general manager in here, man, that can identify talent, that can hire a good coaching staff, hire a good training staff. And yeah, man, you got to. You got to get somebody in here that can hit on not only first round picks, but late round picks. And since Scott Fitter has been here, he has yet to do that. And until you do that, who you get a head coach is almost going to be irrelevant because your head coach can't coach crap, bro. So there's only so much you can do. You can't coach crap and expect that to win. And that's what we've been doing the last couple of years. I mean, just to be honest, but. Yeah, man. I mean, finding the general manager got to be the first step with Tepper next, and that's my opinion.
All right. So sticking on the general manager, because we got Matt Strand said here, how is Fitz still employed? Figured he would go before Frankie. That's a good question because I'm thinking maybe Tepper didn't want to shake up too much. Too soon. But Monty brought up great points. It's been yet that we've had a general manager to pick a head coach here. So, I think what Hurney was the last one involved in picking Rivera. I think that's the last time that happened. So, that's way back in 2011. So, we long overdue for getting back on track. And the fact that I think they showed a graph today on TV, whoever the next head coach going to be long-term or the next long-term contract without interim, that'll be the 7th person to be coach or interim coach for the Carolina Panthers since Tepper took over the team, bought the team back in 2018. That's crazy that we had almost as many head coaches that we done had quarterbacks here since Tepper been here, man. It's just mind-numbing. So, JD, let me ask you this. When would be a good time to let Fitterer go? And who are some, people out there that you think could be the right general manager who's got a track record? Because that's not something I really keep tabs on. In the chat, I usually wait for you guys to pull up some names, show a little bit of their resume. But first part is, when should Fitterer be let go? And who you think would be the right general manager that would take this mess as known as the Carolina Panthers right now and can clean it up, and get us back on track?
I think there's no time like the present to get Fitterer up out the paint. That's just that. It's tough, like, because I don't understand why they're waiting, but at the same time, like, how much does he have to do with day-to-day in-season type deals? We're post-trade deadline, so there's nothing there. Unless they're negotiating, like, with agents in Brian Burns' camp, I really see no purpose in keeping them. And even if that, you can do that with Samir. I feel like Samir is capable of handling those negotiations. And we've seen some of that. They pulled back the curtain a little bit on the off-season series or whatever, of him negotiating contracts. So I feel good about that. As far as like finding the next GM, obviously we have a couple of options. I would say go to a team that has had a track record of winning in recent history, like the Eagles or something, and see scour and see the type of people that are there. I feel like GM is harder to project somebody to come in and be a GM because every GM's role is a little bit shady in how they exactly handle it. Some GMs are a little bit more focused on the scouting aspect, or some are a little bit more contract. Some are a little bit more hands-on in determining who is going to be game day active and who's going to be called up, called down, sit down. So it's tough to highlight, but I feel like the general rule of thumb is find somebody who has been around success. And that was the selling point when we got Fitterer. He was with Seattle. And everybody's like, well, they had an amazing year drafting outside the first round. That's another precautionary thing to where, just because the franchise they were with was drafting well, it doesn't mean that they had a hand in that success, or a direct hand in that success. So I feel like it's tough. And I also feel like one of the bargaining chips David Tepper has been using to lure head coaching candidates here is the fact that, hey, or one of the ones he hasn't used yet is, hey, you get to pick the GM. I feel like that's what he's going to pull out next, because when we hire Rule, Fitterer was already a staple, and it was non-negotiable that he would be a part of the future. And I'm sure some head coaching candidates would prefer to pick a guy or suggest a guy that they would want to work with, and that was a deal breaker. So we'll see if he kind of uses that as a bargaining chip. But yeah, I would go scour around like organizations like San Fran, the Eagles, just take a peek into what they're doing and see if you can find a guy that suits what we want to do here.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, JD, because I was just here literally thinking what franchises were like asked for a while and then they've turned around and they've been consistent. And San Francisco, comes at the top of mind. Like, who was the assistant up under John Lynch out there in San Francisco? Definitely anybody from the Eagles front office. I mean, they hit on picks, especially when it comes to linemen, which Smooth would love. They definitely, because Philly was, pretty much ass after, Andy Reid left and everything. So I definitely think they would be a good front office. Anybody out of Kansas City, would also be, worth taking a look at. Of course, having Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will make everybody look good. Trying to think who else turned around the situation. But yeah, those are just some of the ones off the top of my head that I can think of. But yeah, you and Monty definitely is spot on with far as saying that the general manager needs to come first, then the head coach. But JD, you brought up an interesting point that in order to lure the coach, have him pick the general manager. Has there ever been a situation that you known that to happen that's had success, or was that just a idea off the top of your head?
No, it was more so this time last year. Oh God, that sounds bad. This same time last year, what I'm saying, we were thinking about who we're gonna end up hiring or whatever. Mm-hmm. This past offseason, and John Harbaugh's name came up. Not John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh's name came up. Mm-hmm. And there were rumors and speculation that he would want to pick the front office he works with. And I felt like that was a big bargaining chip that we couldn't meet because we were already keyed in on having Scott Fitterer and Samir and those guys around. So I'm sure there's probably some circumstance where that's the case, but I highly maybe Denver. I have to look and see who their general manager is, but I'm sure that's a conversation that Sean Payton and them had with it being a splash move.
Okay. So, Monty, this next one's for you. So now that special teams coordinator Chris Tabor is the interim head coach, And it came out that it was him and Jim Caldwell's decision to let go quarterback coach Josh McCown and running backs coach Deuce Staley. A lot of fans questioning that move, especially, a lot of fans really don't know that much about Tabor, but can you explain to us why you think it was, or maybe you think it wasn't a good idea to make him the interim? And like what kind of expectations do you have and you think fans should have, with this change with the interim coach?
I mean, to be honest, I'm not really so one way or the other. I mean, I'll be honest. I think for fans to be upset is a little absurd. I mean, if you look over the last 2 years, the most consistent or best coach that we've had on the team, you can argue, has been Chris Tabor. I mean, it's Tabor. So I can't really say that having him as the interim head coach is a bad idea, even with him being the special teams coach. And I think that's what people are so upset about, is that he is the special teams coach. But again, if you just look over the special teams unit that we've had over the last 2 years, we were just talking about, what was it, Sam? Was it Sam Franklin being a Pro Bowl safety? On the special teams, just the other day, or a couple weeks ago. So. I'm not really upset with him being the interim head coach, and I think the expectations with him at the interim head coach deal, even still, should not be any higher than what it was before. The fire. Again, I'm not expecting him to go in there and win we have 6 games left in the season. I'm not expecting him to go in there and win the last 6 games. Just like we were, to be honest, we weren't expecting that with Sam Wilkes. We weren't expecting that with Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes did something that nobody expected to do, and that was coming here and potentially play us into a playoff position. Nobody thought that was going to happen before before the games were played, and I'm not expecting that with with the interim head coach now. That being said, if it happens, I'll be cool. I mean, I'm all for it. I just don't think that happened either way. I don't think the roster is built for us to make that type of run again this year. And at the same time, I hate to say I'm in all tank mode at this mode. I mean, at this point in the season, but I'm kind of am. I kind of am. Look, what does winning the last 6 games do for your season? What does the last 6 games going out on not realistically speaking, do I even think we win? We got 4 division games out of the last 6. We got 2 against. We still haven't played Tampa, so we got 2 games against Tampa, and then we have Atlanta and Saints. So we got 4 division games in the last 6. Do I really realistically think we're gonna win a vast majority of them? No. So again, I'm more excited to see that, what's the next change going to be here, and will Fitterer screw it up? I mean, not Fitterer, will Tepper screw it up again? Because again, what JD said is correct. You got to get Fitterer up out here. And I'm just waiting for that. I'm waiting for that shoe to drop next. And then from there, we're going to see, what the next era of Carolina football will be. And we just thought we were in the next era 6 months ago. So. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, man, life definitely comes at us fast, man. I mean, bro, like to be a Panther fan, I'm gonna say like this, to be a loyal Panther fan, bro, like that should automatically get you into heaven. Seriously, like, I mean, my God, man, I mean, my sports life just torments me, man. I'm a Panther fan.
Yeah, it's torture, man.
It's Panther fan. I'm a Hornets fan. I'm a Tar Heels fan. I'm a Atlanta Braves fan. Like, bro.
Hey, bro, don't mix the Tar Heels in. Yeah, don't mix the Ar Heels in with the Panthers and Hornets, dog. Like, I'm not gonna.
The football team just disappointed me, man. How we go from 6-0 to what are we now? What 7-4 or whatever?
Yeah,
man,
bro. Yeah, the football, but yeah, the Tar Heels. Even football team was a lot better than either the Hornets and the Panthers.
Yeah. So, at least we got to see wins.
Yeah, so I was like, we're not going to clump the Tar Heels into this track.
All right, I got you.
Braves won the chip too, bro.
Yeah, 2020.
Right.
Yeah, but this year was just, man, like we was gonna be the team to beat. Best record. Acuna got MVP. I mean, it was just. it was just crazy. And then just to get dusted 3-1, man, it was just, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, but back to these Panthers though, fellas. Okay, so moving forward, y'all can give me like y'all personal preferences here. Uh, Obviously, our defense coordinator Evero, I feel like he's earned a place at the table. I mean, this defensive unit, like, this is the least amount I've heard or not heard y'all like trash our secondary in a long time. And we basically are playing with third and fourth strings, and
we playing with JD out there. Like, yeah, we playing
yeah,
with
JD and Vince,
And we hooping, and we hooping, and we hooping.
Hey, you are Dante Jackson of the bunch, brother.
That's wild. That's wild, boy. I tell you what. That's tough.
Hey, I love JD. That's my dog.
Boy,
but to JD point, bro, they are out there hooping, bro. So I mean, yeah, man. If to your point, what your question came by me to cut you off, I do think that if we're looking at head coach candidates, he's going to be one of the top persons at my list. One for we just let Steve Wilkes go. I think that Evero is going to be a very good. I really do think he's going to be a very good head coach moving forward here. And to be honest, I think he would draw a lot of attention with getting a play caller. I think an offensive coordinator would want to come here and help develop and help Bryce grow. And I think with Vero being the defensive minded coach there, having this defense play at a high level, and I think once he gets his pieces back, once he can get a GM in here, and once we start getting pieces together defensively, and run the defense there, I feel like he would be the best suited to run there. This team, we could be back to what we work, and that's what we were talking about earlier today on Embrace Debate. Was we've been a defensive minded or a defensive run team for so long. I mean, I do get that times change and that we want to go into an offensive minded way, but bro. Hey man, I've seen us go to 2 Super Bowls and have have the best offense in the NFL with a defensive minded coach, man. So it's just hard to see us go out like this. But man, yeah, I'm excited. Hey, Vera would be number one on top of my list. If it's not, I definitely wouldn't mind Ben Johnson, or Eric Bieniemy. So those probably would be the top 3 off my head. It's no way I think Jim Harbaugh is coming. Jim Harbaugh would probably be just like, okay, yeah, I hear it, but I don't believe it. Because every year we get to talk about, well, Jim Harbaugh is coming out of college to come back to the NFL, and it never happened. So I don't see that happening this year
either. JD, what about you? Do you think Evero deserves an opportunity to interview at the end of season 4 the coach? And I heard Monty say bringing his own offense coordinator. So are we saying pretty much we done with Thomas Brown? Because I'm going to be honest with you, fellas. This playbook that's supposed to be a hybrid of what he learned out with the Rams and mixed in with what former coach Frank Reich did in Indianapolis. I don't like this playbook at all. I get it. This play, we lack the talent, explosive players, but dog, it's like you can almost call the play before it happened. I mean, we're in 11 personnel, 92% of the time. Like, there's no variation of personnel. Like, I'm gonna be curious this next game because you was mentioning, our division, all the divisional games we got left. We got 3 in a row coming up. We're on the road against Tampa. We're on the road against New Orleans, and then we come home against and play the Falcons. So yeah, we got 3 division games coming up hot, and I think we close the season at home with Tampa coming to us. So what you think, JD?
I think first of all, I think Tepper is going to look at his previous decision of passing over Steve Wilkes, and he's going to give real heavy consideration to Evero. and not letting that same situation happen again. So we could very well see that be the case. Like when we first hired Matt Rule, we went for a college head coach, and with that second hire, you can kind of see him course correct a little bit and go after a guy who has NFL experience, even though he was just fired. I think he'll look back and see, oh, we were building an identity with Steve Wilkes. In the last couple of games, we won a few games going to the offseason, and we kind of blew it all up, and we didn't retain any of that. So I think if we go on a run with the interim head coach in Tabor, I think he may look internal for the next candidate, even if it's not Tabor, or even if Evero has to put his hat in there himself. I think he'll look internally. And I think a part of the appeal of keeping Evero is that he drew some of these free agents that we have that are hooping. He drew them to the Panthers. So you look at Troy Hill, you look at Von Bell. All these guys have run-ins with either Evero or Cooley, and they're key pieces in the defense that has been hampered by injury, but still, nonetheless, here they are carrying us and being the glue. So I think that can't go overstated. Now, behind him, in my head, I'm thinking they'll go for an offensive coordinator in an offense that runs something similar to what we want to do with Bryce. I immediately think of Miami and Tua. Obviously, Mike McDaniel is the guy down there. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. They're not going to be able to keep OCs stop behind them, but Mike McDaniel is the scheme. He has the scheme. That's his scheme. So I have to think Miami's Frank Smith is going to get a call from us just because of the familiarity there, wanting to do a lot more and be more dynamic pre-snap with motions and things like that. I can see them going after him. Obviously, Ben Johnson. Monty mentioned Eric Bieniemy. I think he has the inside track in Washington. So if something does happen to Ron Rivera this offseason and they do let him go, I think he has the inside track to be in that guy. But our owner is a billionaire and his pocket's deep. So it's like we could probably throw enough money at him and be like, hey, come coach these Panthers. So I would say right now, Evero, I got 1, Frank Smith 2, Ben Johnson 3, because I don't know if our destination is attractive as other destinations. And I could honestly see him staying one more year with the Lions because they're still improving and they've got a high ceiling. And then Eric Bieniemy is always going to be on my list.
Okay. All right, well, fellas, we're about to wrap this up here because, Monty, you know what I'm saying? I know you're just getting in from work, long day. JD, I'm not feeling well, so just going to get some closing words here. Start off with you first, Monty. So just looking forward from here. I know it's just Monday. You constantly bring up good content and on Twitter and definitely be dropping knowledge. What are your expectations moving forward after the day?
Yeah, man, we can start with the general manager. Like I said, I think we've got more than enough time now, especially with firing the head coach, to get a good look at who our next candidate should and could be. And first, once Fitter is out of here, because I fully expect Scott Fitterer. I think Frank Reich and Fitterer are going to be like a kind of a pair firing. So you're not going to get rid of one without getting rid of the other. I think it's just a matter of time when they fire Fitterer. But yeah, I feel like once we actually get Fitterer up out of here, we get a new general manager. I definitely want us to see us go get somebody, somebody that has a proven track record. And this is kind of how I feel about it. I don't mind going to go get a first year head coach, but I want to go get a seasoned general manager that knows what the hell he's doing. Like that's kind of where I'm at with it there. Or I want a general manager that has some type of experience here, because Fitter didn't. This was his first position as a general manager, and maybe that might not be realistic in my expectations. but that's kind of what I would like to see happen, you know. So, but other than that, I would want us to see go get us a general manager first, and after that, yeah, I'm not partial to it being an offensive or defensive head coach, but I would be, you know, if Rivero got the job, I'm definitely leaning towards Rivero, and you know, I see people in the comments saying the defense is trash. Like, I mean, dog, we're with our cornerback number 6 out there and on safety number 4. So I mean, I don't know what fully y'all are expecting without you know, we're down with not only we're on our backups, corners, backup safety, you know, our backup middle linebacker. So I mean, I don't know really what y'all are expecting. Y'all are expecting a top 5 unit with y'all at corner and safety. So, but either way, you know, I do think that you know, general manager, you know, should be first, and then next should be the head coach.
Hey, real quick, Monty. I don't know if you knew this or not, but apparently, uh, $30 million is left owed to Frank Reich. So between the 40 million left to Tepper and to Matt Rule and the 30 million, that's $70 million, bro. In fired coaches.
Hey, well, you know, it don't go against our cap. Hey, it don't go against our cap. So keep burning. Tepper pockets? Yeah,
that's tough money.
Yeah, right. I love to hear it. Yeah, keep burning that man pockets. Yeah, look, I hope it costs another 50 mil to go get somebody else too. Yo, go put a hole in that man pocket.
Look, and I think I speak for all 3 of us when we say, Greg Olsen, we love you, but no, we don't.
Yeah, bro.
We toxic, bro. We toxic. Don't do it, Greg.
Hey man, and this is what I want to say. If Greg really wants to be a head coach, and I think I saw that in one of the little Twitter chats. Who Corey? Corey said and I'm gonna take Corey quote. If he really wants to be a head coach, find a way to get on this coaching staff, on this next coaching staff. No matter if it's a position coach or because I do think Greg Olsen would actually be a great coach one day. It's just I don't want to see him come from the booth first time and be, you know, because then, you know, there's just a lot of things I feel like he would have to grow into. But I think he would be a great coordinator one day, you know, especially a great offensive coordinator, especially the way he knows the ball. He's up to date and, you know, abreast of the new style of football. Yeah, I would absolutely love Greg Olsen. Just not right now. You know, I think that would be another 3-year deal. 3-year thing down the road. But yeah, Greg Olsen, I would always be for a position coach, you know, as a wide receiver or tight end coach. Absolutely. Come on down, bro.
All right, JD, your closing thoughts?
Man, it's like I want to be excited because we did what we knew we had to do, but that doesn't mean it's going to change because who's signing the checks. So right now, all I'm focused on is boom. How does Thomas Brown look? Because that'll give us at least some idea of what we need to do moving forward if he succeeds and does well. See what you have in some of this depth, the depth at skill positions or positions of need. The more you can carry over to next year and have an idea of who they are, the better situation you'll put the next regime in. Hopefully they're not like this one and they actually look at what happened and try to build on the strength instead of scrapping it all. So that's where we at, man. Scott Fitterer pink slip coming up next. It's in the mail. It's gonna hit soon. Outside of that, man, we just holding on for dear life at this point.
All right, fellas. Well, whoever comes in, I know we don't have a first round pick, but just took a quick pick here, and it looks like we're gonna have some bread to spend in free agency. So, and I think we're gonna have to like overpay to get people to come here. But
hey, I got a question before we go, fellas, because I know we got to go. So my question is, do y'all go receiver or offensive lineman with that pick at 33? Because I'm almost at the point where you got to go center offensive guard. I'm kind of almost at that point, and y'all know how much I've been campaigning for a receiver. Kind of almost at that point to where, because you know what, like if you just hit it on the head, you're gonna have to overpay somebody to get here, and I'm 100% okay with overpaying T. Higgins. Go ahead, throw T. Higgins the bag. Go ahead, draft your offensive guard / center, because really it's a center. Really go ahead, get Bozeman up out of here, find a center to replace Bozeman. with that 33 pick, and then just add another receiver in the third round. That's kind of where I'm at now.
Okay. Yeah, I've even seen some fans suggest maybe moving Bozeman to guard, where he, had some success playing guard in Baltimore. I just think, and JD, you can chime in on this real quick if you want to. I just think it's the scheme. I just think that you took guys who are used to downhill power gap blocking schemes, and you try to make them a college inside zone scheme. And I just think because everybody on the offensive line has just regressed. It's not just one or two players. Like everybody's playing like ass now. It seems like it's like I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just like I'm expecting a minimum of 4 sacks to be given up every game now. I think what yesterday was 4 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, and like 18 hurries on Bryce's 31 dropbacks. So that's like out of the 31 times he dropped back, only 3 times he didn't get quarterback pressure. Bruh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, dog. At this point, man, I tweeted it too, Monty. I agree with you, man. We gotta like, as much as I would love to see, it's gonna pay me to say because, bro, I want Troy Franklin to
I
be a
swear,
Panther so bad, bro.
Like I swear, like a sickness, dog. Like,
Dog, I'm gonna be so hurt. Like, I have no words for how hurt I'm gonna be if we sitting there at 33 and Troy Franklin sitting there and Jackson Powers Johnson is sitting there, and we got to pick one of them. I'm gonna be hurt.
You talk about torture. My God,
hey, bro,
Dog.
Because y'all been turning me on to the receivers. Like Monty, you've been on these receivers since like what, September on Twitter.
Yeah,
like you've been,
yes,
you've been
sir,
dropping great content.
before I knew Troy Franklin was gonna be a dog. Before you know what? And I told somebody this other day, bro. I made the mistake of watching Troy Franklin versus UCLA 2021.
Yes, sir.
And or 2022. And bro, ever since then it was like, nah, bro, Troy Franklin is him. And ever since then he ain't done nothing to prove me right. But but nah, dog. I'm almost at the point. I hear you. If Troy Franklin there, I'm gonna be weak or I'm gonna be hurt if we pass him. But bro, you gotta get an interior, like our interior offensive line is, bro. It's almost scary how bad it is, bro. Because like Bryce be out there getting smacked. Like when you look at when I can't wait till all 22 drop tomorrow. Because bro, when you look at the all 22, bro, as soon as the ball is snapped, dog, half the play, bro, K Mays is sitting in his lap, but like right after the ball is snapped, dog, and it's like there's nothing you can do, bro. There is nothing Bryce can do to succeed in an offense like that, dog. And as much as I want Troy Franklin gonna be out there just running for cardio, but with the offensive line we got, bro. So
that's real.
So that being said, I hear you though, bro. Because if we find a way to shore up T Higgins in the offseason, I can live with us going to sell him for somebody like Brendan Rice or somebody like Tez Walker, or you know what, bro, Tez Johnson from Oregon. Look, we can take if we don't get Troy Franklin, go ahead and get the second receiver from Oregon, Tez Johnson. He like that, bro. Y'all like Curtis Samuel 2.0. Like, he like that.
That's the only solace I have is that this is a deep receiver draft, like super deep, to where we can go get alignment and then still end up with one of those guys or like
absolutely.
Like that's the only saving grace. That and Bryce can't even get to the top of his drop without them blitzing.
Yeah, and JD, I say this, bro. Like this year, you can get you a number 1 and number 2 receiver in this draft. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing, and that's why I'm so like that. I'm so sold on, bro. Go ahead and get you T Higgins or somebody like Brandon Ayuk. Do whatever you got to do to get one of them 2 here in Charlotte, and then, bro, just go ahead and get you an offensive line with that 33 pick, and then get you a receiver. Because bro, at 33, you're still gonna get a first round grade on whoever you get at 33, and you're also still going to be able to double down and get a good receiver in the deep receiver class. So like I said, bro, you get Brendan Rice here, you get someone like Tez Johnson here, Tez Walker here in the 3rd round, and y'all talking about getting a receiver like Tank Dell. That's your Tank Dell, and especially if you get Tez Johnson here, bro. I mean, I don't think people just don't look at Oregon. I guess because they're on the West Coast, bro. Tez Johnson is every bit of what we want with that we wanted with Tank Dell, dog. Every bit of what we wanted. So. Hey man, I'm excited, bro. But we got to get a GM here. Hey, again, that goes back to my point. Got to get a GM here to know what the hell he doing.
I was about to say all this we talking. It don't matter one bit because Scott Fitter finna mess around and take a receiver with hands like feet.
bro. If Scott Fitter keep his job, dog, I'm telling you. I was laughing on at Twitter when I said smack him in the back of his head, bro. I promise you, bro. I'm smacking Baldies, bro. I'm smacking Baldies all off season.
And I just took a quick look at the upcoming free agents, and we're gonna close out with this. Since we do got some cap space now, obviously, whoever the GM is, he need to come in and immediately take care of Brian Burns. Let's go ahead and just, get that done and out the way, But a lot of guys you brought up, just a quick look here: T. Higgins, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Michael Pittman Jr., Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. Now, one I saw, I might like Gabe Davis from Buffalo. I like him. Darnell Mooney, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Y'all just brought up Curtis Samuel, his 3-year contract up in Washington, and Tyler Boyd. So that's the some top names in the free agent class. And as far as interior offensive linemen, not sure if you guys are familiar with these names, but I am. Robert Hunt, Jonah Jackson, someone that I like, the LSU, Lloyd Cushenberry. I definitely like him. Kevin Ziegler, Tyler Biadasz, and Andrew Speed. Any one of those guys would definitely improve our interior. So, get this Brian Burns extension, add some more money to the salary cap, and we can make some significant moves. This offseason, we got the right person pulling the trigger, fellas.
Got to get GM right though, bro. Right, get that man up out of here. Yesterday.
Yesterday. All right, so we'll see if there's any more news coming through. I think might be all for the day, since Tuesday is the off day for the NFL. So I don't think we're gonna see any more thing done to the coaching staff or front office. But we'll definitely be on it. Well, listen, fellas, I appreciate y'all again joining in. Again, Monty, you just getting off work. JD, I know you say you're trying to fight out this cold that's coming down, so let you boys get settled in for the night. I'm watching this trash-ass Monday night game right now. Chicago 9, Minnesota 3.
I am too. That's why. That's why I said before we got on live. This game is terrible, bro. These teams are garbage.
I know we bad, but this.
Hey, bro, and this. I'm glad before we go because I'm about to slide. Bro, these teams are ass, and we lost to both these niggas. So that's what I'm
saying.
Good God.
We lost to both these boys. So on that note, good night.
All right. Hey, well, listen, on behalf of everybody here at the 4-Man Rush, I want to thank you all for joining in. Had a lot of comments we didn't really get to here, so we'll make it up to you guys the next time here. But as always, thank you for supporting the 4-Man Rush. Hey, you can follow each one of us on Twitter here. Again, you guys know how to get at us. So, again, thank you guys so much. On behalf of 4-Man Rush, I'm your main man, Country Kev. Got Panthers Den and Westside Fetty with us. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And we'll catch you guys on Twitter and other Facebook accounts. So y'all take it easy.